In the headlines, Governor Wike says G5 has not reached deal with anyone, as Tambuwal says PDP will handle him when his candidate is unveiled. Security operatives rescue 13 abducted victims in Niger. President Buhari to sign 2023 budget on first working day of 2023. And on the foreign scene, 10 killed in Democratic Republic of Congo road accident. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Hello and welcome once again. Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State says he and his allies, better known as the G5, have not struck a deal with any presidential candidate ahead of next year's election. The G5, which includes Governor Wike, Governors Seyi Makinde of Oyo, Samuel Ortom of Benue, Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi of Enugu, and Okezie Ikpeazu of Abia, have been at loggerheads with the People's Democratic Party presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar in the wake of the party's presidential primary. Wike, who lost to Atiku, believes that the process was unfair, and the five governors maintain that the PDP national chairman, Iyorchia Ayu, a northerner, must resign. Since the crisis, there has been speculations that the group has backed a candidate for the presidential election. But the former Minister of State for Education has waved off reports describing them as untrue.
What is their problem assuming that there was a meeting? Has Atiku not been holding meeting with governors of APC? Ask him. Ask is in Dubai. Don't you know what's going on? So why do you bother about us? G5 that you say you can win without us. Leave us alone. Leave me alone. Leave Seyi Makinde alone. Leave Ortom alone. Leave Ikpeazu alone. Leave Ugwuanyi alone. Focus on your problems. I'm not one who will go and see somebody and I will hide. Hide for who? Who is that person that will threaten me? He said he will sack me. Go ahead. I'm not worried. You that is sacking, you are worried. Me that will be sacked, am I worried? Try and see how you will survive it.
And amid speculation over Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike's preferred presidential candidate in the 2023 elections, his Sokoto State counterpart, Governor Aminu Tambuwal, says the party has lawful avenues of dealing with erring members. Since his emergence as the PDP presidential candidate earlier this year, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has faced apathy from 5 PDP governors under the aegis of the G5 or Integrity Group, who are insisting that the PDP national chairman, Iyorchia Ayu, a northerner, must resign. Responding to allegations of meetings being held with the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Bola Tinubu, Wike said on Friday that he and his allies in the G5 had not struck a deal with any presidential candidate ahead of next year's election. However, Tambuwal sent a word of warning to the Rivers State governor and others allegedly planning to go against the interests of the PDP. According to a statement by Tambuwal's media advisor, Muhammad Bello, the People's Democratic Party will respond to the antics of the G5 governors who are currently being speculated to be in political alliance with the presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And still talking politics, presidential candidate of the New Niger People's Party, NNPP, Rabiu Kwankwaso, has accused the ruling All Progressives Congress and the People's Democratic Party of complicity in the security challenges bedeviling the country. Kwankwaso said education and youth employment will be his top priority if elected as president in 2023. He said this in Zamfara State, where he inaugurated the party's campaign offices in the state. The report.
The presidential candidate of New Nigerian People's Party, NNPP, Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, said if elected as president of Nigeria in the 2023, he will mop up huge number of out-of-school children by providing education infrastructure, recruitment, and training of teachers to boost the standards of quality of education in the country. The former Kano State Governor also said that his administration will replicate what he did as governor, providing scholarship and sponsoring children of the poor to study abroad, and some in private and federal universities in Nigeria.
We are very much concerned about education in this country, especially in northern Nigeria. And education, even in Kano, as you rightly pointed out, is the number one priority when we are in government 8 years in Kano. And in fact, even in my own private life, I consider education as number one priority. Whatever project that I do, number one is education. So that's why in Kano we are able to do free and good quality education from primary, secondary to tertiary level.
The NNPP presidential candidate said Nigeria should not return the People's Democratic Party (PDP) and ruling All Progressive Congress (APC) to power, as its NNPP is poised to bring about much desired change which Nigerians and Nigeria need at this point in time.
So we are very happy, and of course we always move on the ground because we are grassroots people who always want to associate with the masses, people who are our supporters. And also we look around to see the environment, to see the roads, to see the type of houses that our people live. And there are schools, primary schools that are on the road, secondary schools and other institutions. And of course talk to the people and find out the situation. So we are making a lot of assessments to ensure that we know the problems and challenges that are on the ground, so that day one, by the grace of God, if we get elected, we don't have to ask too many questions.
While in Zamfara, Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso visited strategic towns to seek support of electorate to win the 2023 election.
The inordinate ambition of young military officers was responsible for frequent coups d'etats, truncating democratic governments in West Africa in the 1960s. This has, however, changed, as young military officers with ambitions to reach the peak often cut short their military career to join partisan politics. One of such military officers is retired Lieutenant Colonel Abdul Aziz Musa Adua, who is seeking to represent Katsina Central in the Nigerian Senate in 2023. Abdullahi Ahmadi asks him why he chose premature retirement to join politics.
Abdulaziz Yaradua was admitted into Nigerian Military School in 1976 at the age of 12 after passing out from the then Ambute Primary School in Katsina. Thereafter, he was also enrolled into the Nigerian Defense Academy Kaduna for a short service combatant commission course and was commissioned as second lieutenant in 1990.
The same year, 91, as a second lieutenant, the army sponsored me, to read master's degree in electrical engineering at Rochester Institute of Technology in the United States. So I spent over 2 years in the United States, where I had my master's in electrical engineering.
Abdulaziz Yaradua retired from the army as a lieutenant colonel to join politics after the demise of his elder brother, President Umaru Yaradua, in 2010. What could have informed his decision to cut his military career short, though the prospects of reaching the top was bright for him?
So I felt I had an aged mother, whom I needed to take care of, having lost a great son. So I needed to be close to her. And the other reason being that, yes, I could have a career in the army, but I knew that as a short service combatant officer, my career is short-lived.
Having been brought up by a family with both military and political orientation, Abdulaziz Yaradua believes his venturing into politics is the right decision.
Immediately I left the army, I started thinking of, how to plot my political bearing. Because then our mentor, the late president, was dead, and we had nobody in the family again who ventured into politics after him. So I started thinking seriously, especially anytime we were with him, he used to lecture us, about the situation of the country, the situation of our people. And, it will always, once he speaks, it will touch your heart. So I also started thinking that I think I needed to serve again in another capacity.
Abdulaziz Yaradua belonged to few political parties at different times, but is now a card-carrying member and APC candidate for Katsina Central Senatorial District. He has repeatedly told people of his constituency that his military experience is an asset, and if given the mandate, it will help him make the desired impact. Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
And now to matters of security, where 13 abductees have been rescued by the joint security operatives in Gurara and Paikoro local government areas of Niger State. The State Commissioner for Internal Security and Humanitarian Affairs, Emmanuel Umar, said in Minna that among the rescued victims were 9 women and 3 men. Umar said they were rescued on Friday following a tip-off that some bandits were sighted around Bonu, Gwalu and Chimbi areas of Gurara and Paikoro local government areas. He said the victims were taken to a government medical facility for medical checks before they were reunited with their families. The Commissioner appreciated the efforts of security agencies and communities for their support and cooperation, urging them not to relent until they get rid of criminals in the state. And still talking security, the new police commissioner deployed to the Federal Capital Territory, Sadiq Abubakar, has promised Abuja of zero tolerance to crime and criminality with his wealth of experience in the service. The CP said this while parading suspects at the FCT Police Command. Noel Sampson, who was at the venue, has more.
18 suspected criminals were arrested by the police in FCT, with 1,163 exhibits recovered from them. The exhibits include 4 local-made pistols, 1 English pistol, 202 live ammunitions, 900 live cartridge, 4 vehicles, 3 police, civil defense, and vigilante ID cards, with 4 AK-47 rifle, 6 empty AK-47 magazine, 4 G3 rifles, 7 empty G3 magazine, 3 ballistic vests, charms of various degree, 20 cell phones, among others.
Based on intelligence gathering by the command tactical teams, the operatives raided hideouts of notorious armed robbery syndicates terrorizing the Federal Capital Metropolis and arrested 11 gang men suspects. In addition to that, 4 gang men who specialize in robbing POS operators and capable homicide suspects were arrested.
The new CP also highlights his approaches to fight crime in Abuja.
To enlighten members of the public that it is one action that leads to another. Go to Wuse Market, for example. We are talking of car theft. You see how people disrespect the rule. They park anyhow, they drive anyhow. We have already started and we are going to stop that. By the time you have so many bikers jam-packed at one place, certainly you will have a lot of people around the area, so you cannot escape pickpockets, you cannot escape those who steal pawns.
However, some of the suspects arrested denied the allegations leveled against them.
The something I wear they give me as a wedding, and the envelope they give me in the night say, see the Lord. I tell Lord I'll smell a card and cook for motor. Check it out.
I'm a thief, I'm a criminal.
Of course, I involved. This is my friend Nuruddin, the one you interviewed now. He is the one who joined me to the gang, make me to know the gang.
He brought these people 2 days before this arrest. He brought them for that job. He say his officers going to give you job and they should go to where people pack money in container. They should break it instead of go in the way that they will take the money to government, they will do it, and among them, the officer, they will share it.
The police commissioner enjoins residents to remain vigilant and report any suspicious movement to the police through its emergency lines. Noel Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
You're watching Trust TV News Update. Still ahead, we'll show you how deals are struck at Nasarawa Livestock Market. Details of this and more stories after the break. Stay with us.
That's good.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us on Trust TV News Update. Now let's take another look at our top stories. Governor Wike says G5 has not reached a deal with anyone, as Tambuwal says PDP will handle him when his candidate is unveiled. And security operatives rescue 13 abducted victims in Niger. And moving on to other news now. President Muhammadu Buhari is expected to sign the 2023 budget into law on the first working day of 2023. Senate President Ahmad Lawan disclosed this on Friday to newsmen at State House Abuja after meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari on the last working day of 2022. He explained that the delay by the National Assembly in passing the budget was due to some unfortunate occurrences, but expressed happiness with the working relationship between the executive and legislative arms of government. Kende Amodu reports.
It's the last working day of the year, and the Senate President has come to see President Buhari to walk through some issues that have remained unresolved as the year runs out. One crucial pending issue is, of course, the 2023 Appropriation Bill, which has been passed by both arms of the National Assembly. The goal is to persuade the President to keep faith with the January to December budget cycle, which has been in operation in the last 4 years.
We are very pleased that we have been able to, in the last 4 years, ensure the passage of the appropriation bills in record time before every Christmas, and Mr. President had always signed before the end of the year. This year particularly is because of the anomalous, very undesirable and unfortunate situation that we had to delay a little bit. You recall that the National Assembly had to cut down its recess, Christmas recess, to come back on Wednesday. for the sole purpose of passing the appropriation bill that we could have passed a week before.
The Senate President is passionate about the January to December budget cycle, which he says has resulted in stabilizing the economy.
Impact on the polity. On the economy, when the federal government passes and assents to the appropriation bill and the states do the same, the economy starts to receive injection of funds right from January of the following year. So we, without sounding immodest, in the 9th Assembly and working very harmoniously in a very cordial manner with the executive arm of government, have been able to make this economy a little bit better. It would have been worse if the budgets were passed May, June of every year or the following year and so on and so forth.
He is delighted in the cordial working relationship between the executive and legislative arms of government, insisting that the country would have been worse off if both arms of government were working at cross purposes.
I think that relationship has produced very positive results, very good outcomes for this country. Imagine that the relationship is broken, that we simply are fighting on territorial grounds and so on and so forth. The country would have been worse for it, the citizens would have lost, and we have no regrets whatsoever for working together to ensure that we support the executive arm of government in ensuring good governance, providing infrastructure across the country. And there's no part of this country today that does not have one project, one infrastructure development or the other.
As the year runs to an end, it is time for all political office holders to take stock and gauge what kind of impact they have had on the lives of Nigerians, particularly as elections are closing in fast. From State House, Abuja, Kehinde Amodu, Trust TV News.
Now, the Nasarawa State Cattle Market is rated amongst the top 10 livestock markets in northern Nigeria. And according to research, the market, one of the largest, has been in existence for decades, providing the best breeds of animals. Abubakar Abdullahi visited the market and his report is presented from our studios.
For years, the Lafia Cattle Market was a source of livelihood for many within and outside the Nasarawa state. The market, which is periodic, operates twice a week, Thursdays and Sundays, with customers from different parts of Nigeria and even neighboring countries. During Trust TV visit to the market, thousands of locals and Fulani herders were seen carrying out business operations. Fatai Suleiman said he visits the cattle markets every week from Benue to buy animals. A cattle dealer, Abubakar Alaji Saeed, said the market is one of the best points to sell their animals as people from all over the country come to buy animals here, adding that both buyers and sellers benefit from the market.
We bring cows here to sell. We make money and feed our families. We give thanks to Allah for this.
On his part, chairman of the market, Ahmed Saleh, said the market attracts people from different regions.
It is a legitimate business. Everybody, Muslim, Christians, different ethnic religions, come to this market from all over the country. People from other states are the backbone of this market.
He said although traders of other merchandise do business in the market, it is mainly for animals. He then called on the state government to construct a fence around the market to protect both sellers and buyers against intruders and other criminal activities, going by the huge turnover the market generates weekly.
Now, a former commissioner in the old Benue Plateau State, Shehu Othman, said he left a lucrative job at the Central Bank of Nigeria to join the Northern Civil Service because there was no time to rest. Othman featured in Trust TV's program Reminiscence, where he narrated how he was appointed health commissioner, even though he was not a medical doctor.
When I went to the Central Bank again, it was when I was in Kano. People are talking about the Central Bank. I don't know what is Central Bank. But from what people have been saying, is the father or the mother of all the banks. Well, if it is mother of all the bank, which means if I'm there now, are more important.
Yes.
Instead of just a bank, only one bank.
You can watch the full interview on Saturday by 7 p.m. on Trust TV. Now for a quick look at the foreign scene, where a truck overturned in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo on Friday, killing 10 people and wounding several others, the local government said. The head of a civil society group in the area, Hilaire Isombia, said the lorry loaded with passengers and goods overturned in the village of Kitongo in South Kivu province early in the morning. South Kivu Interior Minister Théophile Kilue told AFP that 10 people were killed with an unspecified number of other people wounded. He added that the vehicle had been overloaded, which, along with the poor state of the road, caused the accident. Traffic accidents are frequent in the DRC, a vast Central African country where most of the roads are unpaved. And in sports, Cristiano Ronaldo has joined Saudi Arabian club Al Nassr on a 2-year contract. The 37-year-old left Manchester United last month following an exclusive television interview in which the forward said he felt betrayed by the Old Trafford club and did not respect their Dutch manager, Erik ten Hag. Ronaldo will arrive in Saudi Arabia with a vast collection of club honours after a glistering spell at Spanish giants Real Madrid from 2009 to 2018, where he won 2 La Liga titles, 2 Spanish Cups, 4 Champions League titles and 3 Club World Cups. He went on to score a record 451 times for Real and has more than 800 senior goals overall for club and country. The 5-time Ballon d'Or winner also claimed 2 Serie A titles and a Coppa Italia trophy in 3 years at Juventus before rejoining United, with whom he had won 3 Premier League crowns, the FA Cup, 2 League Cups, the Champions League and the Club World Cup. And that wraps up Trust TV News Update for this hour. Don't forget, you can subscribe to watch us live on YouTube and follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Thanks for watching.